Mum. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
So this fortnight, our focus is clear speech and how we can develop clear speech in our kids through games and activities at home.
Yes.
So can you start by explaining to us a bit about what is clear speech and what helps a child have clear speech?
So obviously clear speech is being able to be understood by other people. So being able to have the confidence and the skill to speak in a way that other people really accurately receive your message. But as we know, when kids are growing, their speech is not always clear, and it goes from a point of just sort of babbling into formed sounds and words that come together with real meaning.
Yeah. And so on that journey of developing clear speech, what are the stumbling blocks that can get in the way of kids forming clear speech?
Yeah, well, first of all, there's what we call articulation. So most people would equate that with pronunciation, and that's the ability to actually say your sounds clearly. So it's being able to move your lips, your tongue, your teeth, your soft palate, your jaw, just all these oral muscles, and to be able to coordinate that with your breathing to produce a sound really clearly. So that's one. But there's a few others. Do you want me to?
Yeah,
tell
us about them.
So a child's speech could be unclear because of articulation. It could also be because of what we call phonology. So that's, you have the capacity to make the sound and you can do it quite well, but you have a sort of your own sort of set of patterns in how you use the sound. So it's not always used in the right way or the most correct way. So for example, a child who calls a car a tar, which is very common, and that's a bit of a developmental phase that kids go through. It's not because they can't say the kurt sound necessarily, but it's because they're doing a process that we call fronting. So they're bringing the back sounds, like kurt and a gurt is a back sound, and they're bringing it forwards to like terts and dirts.
Yeah.
So there's a whole host of phonological patterns that are quite developmental that children will go through. Another common one is you might hear a child call a fish a bish, for example.
Okay.
And that's what we call stopping, because they've taken a long sound, which is, and they're making it but instead, which is a very short sound. So there's lots of those consistent things that children often do, but we want to make sure that they're moving through that developmental phase quite quickly so that by the time they get to sort of around 3 and 4, that they're very clearly understood.
Yeah, okay, so they're not getting stuck there.
Yeah.
So we've got articulation and then phonology.
Yeah.
What was the third aspect?
Oh, there's probably 2 others that are worth mentioning.
Yeah, 2 others.
One is childhood apraxia of speech. So that is a motor planning issue. So kids know the word up here, they know what they want to say, they can probably even tell you what sounds they want to say, but between the message getting from up here to the muscles to actually move to coordinate, it just gets a bit scrambled, and so they don't have the motor planning skills to pull clear speech together. So that's not a huge percentage of the population. Like articulation and phonology is very, very common. Childhood apraxia of speech is far more rare, but we do see a lot of it in our clinic.
Okay.
And probably the fourth way or reason that kids are hard to understand is because they don't necessarily have the language skills. So they might be filling in their sentences with lots of ums and ahs. They might be doing a lot of sort of babbly jargon in there. They might not have a really accurate vocabulary. So they can be quite vocal and they can be seen to be saying a lot, but they're hard to understand because we don't really know what they're trying to say.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's nothing to do with the sounds or the way they're using them, but it's more to do with the language and how they're pulling that together to communicate.
Okay, interesting. And so when it comes to developing clear speech and good articulation, what are your top 3 go-to activities in the clinic that people could maybe be applying at home?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'd just say if your child is hard to understand, then absolutely get them assessed by a speech pathologist, because until you talk to someone who is adept at actually working out what's going on, we won't know if you're taking the right approach. So each of those things that I mentioned has a different therapy approach to it.
Okay, so you've got to get to the cause of it first, see what needs to be targeted, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But if we're talking just about general development and articulation and getting practice forming sounds, then I've got a few activity ideas that I think...
we'd love to hear them.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So it's really important that children know how to imitate sounds. So you can set up a game, we call it like a look, listen, copy game. That's where you and your child might be in front of a mirror. So you can do this when you're brushing your teeth. in the bathroom mirror or in the bedroom mirror, and you're encouraging your child to watch your face and listen to what you do and copy the same movements that you do. So you might be saying things like, oh, can you roar like a dinosaur like this, and do a big rah, and see if they can make the same sound, if they open their mouth the same way. You can make a range of animal noises, it can be car noises, and then you can sort of weave in some speech sounds. But it's really, really helpful for kids to be in front of the mirror so they can become aware of we call them articulators, so your lips and your tongue and your jaw, and the different movements that they can make with that.
Yeah, okay. I remember seeing you do an activity once with a dab of peanut butter around the mouth. Can you tell me what that was about?
Oh.
Is that something to do with
Did I do that for you? Probably.
Possibly, yeah.
Look, that was just really designed to help the child get some accurate movements. So a little dab of peanut butter on the top lip, and can you lick it off? Can you put it behind your teeth and that little bumpy ridge on your gum behind your teeth? Can you lift your tongue up and hold it there and lick that off? Just sort of increasing that awareness of the control that a child can have over all these fine movements.
Yeah, okay, because they're just realizing I have a mouth and it moves and I can get it to do things. And
that's right, because in therapy we're often talking about the back of your tongue versus the front of your tongue, and we're trying to isolate where we want sounds made and the parts of the tongue that we want to make the sound. So kids who have got like an innate awareness of their tongue as a muscle and that can do things, a little bit of a step ahead.
There you go. Who knew blowing raspberries could be part of speech?
Yes, very important.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So then, have you got another one for us?
Yeah, so that's paying attention to look, listen, and copy.
Yes.
The next one would be getting them to have an awareness of what a sound actually is.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
We say, oh, I need you to make a but sound. But if they don't know what sound means or what a but really is, it doesn't kind of connect for them. So talking a lot about sounds, like as you're reading books, talking about, for example, if you're trying to encourage that sound, you might say, oh, it's a snaky sound. Can you hear that? Let's hear it in some of these words. And as you're reading a story, you'll pick it up in the story. You might be saying things like, oh, your name's Sam. Sam starts with a S. Can you make that sound? So as a general rule of thumb, you want to be talking about sounds more than you're asking the child to make the sound. Because no child wants to feel like they're under pressure. They don't want to be tested. Hey, can you say this? Can you do this?
Yes.
Just increasing the awareness of the sounds in the environment is really, really helpful.
Yeah, okay. So reading books then can be a really helpful way to do that. Is there another activity that you'd recommend for that, highlighting sounds?
Yeah, you can start to sort of segment words out. So you might say, oh, we're going to go to bed, and it's 3 sounds in that word.
Yeah, okay. So even just conversation.
Just talking things through and just mentioning what a sound is and how we use them. Or you might be even pointing to a letter and go, oh, that's an S, it makes a sound, for example.
Yeah. Okay. And then what would be a third activity?
In this idea of a third activity, I'll give you a couple of little strategies.
Okay, yeah.
So if we're talking about trying to increase a child's ability to say a particular sound, you might want to be working with some picture cards. So if you've been to the speech pathologist, they would potentially have given you some cards. If you don't and you're just trying to do this at home on your own, absolutely fantastic. You can just go to Google Images and you can just search for, give me some pictures that start with a but sound or a f sound, and you'll get some that pop up. But I really encourage you to actually get the pictures and print them out, because you can play so many games with those as cards. So you could do something like put the stepping stones on the floor and have your child jump on each one and say it as they jump along. You could perhaps put them on the wall or the door, and if you're into Nerf guns, they've got to say a word and shoot it with the Nerf gun. What can work really nicely at home is putting that around the bedroom, and at night time when your child's lying in bed, lie down with them and get the torch, or just obviously your phone, and just shine it on the different words to get them to say it. You could also, so many things you can do. Play hide and seek, and as they find the word, they bring it back and actually say it for you.
Yeah, okay. So there's a lot of uses for those little cards there.
Yeah, and if you had a double set, then you can play games like Snap and Memory and those sorts of things.
Matching it up. Yeah, Yeah, there you go. So it sounds like there's about 3 approaches. So there's the look, listen, copy sort of games, which is just getting that awareness of the mouth movement. And then we've got the awareness of sounds. So reading out books, emphasizing those sounds, even in conversations, we're going to going to bed. And then the final stage, I guess, is getting them to say the sounds and focus on certain sounds. That's where those picture cards come in handy. There you go. I'm learning that. I'll stash that away for my future kids. Those sound like some really great tips. So we've got on the blog about 15 of these practice games and activities. So you've just heard 3 today, but there's 15 of them on there. So go have a look on our website and check out our latest blog post about clear speech, and we'll have those 15 activities there. And then during the week, we'll also be posting some shorter videos breaking down these activities and how you can go about doing them at home. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So thanks for catching up with me today, Mum, and talking about clear speech. Do you want to leave us with a final tip you might have for parents who are going on this journey with their kids?
Yeah, I guess the thing is we can be a bit impatient as parents. It's very easy for us to go, well, look, our child can make a sound. They can say the sound the snake makes, but they're not using it in conversation. Why is it that they can say it, but they don't use it? Well, there's a few reasons, but one of them is we have to be patient. We have to help them go through the process to increase their use of the sound until they can finally generalize it. So I guess it's about adjusting expectations and realizing it is a journey. And this is where speech pathology is really important, because we partner with you and your child to help work out the pathway that is specific for your particular needs. But yeah, be patient, but the journey is worth it.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Because clear communication
unlocks opportunities.
That's right. That's what you're always saying.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks for meeting with us today. And thanks for listening to this podcast episode. We hope you have a great week, and head to our website and our social media to check out those resources. Thanks, and see you later.